Right now, highlighting a rich history as the state marks a celebration of Black History Month. We'll have a live report from the Capitol.
Also, heated debate over a controversial bill at the Capitol that aims to give parents more control over their children's education. We'll hear from both sides of the issue.
And we're following the latest from Michigan, where a jury hands out a verdict for the mother for her role in the Oxford school shooting. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Well, we could be flirting with near record high temperatures over the next few days.
Let's get a look at the first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is on the weather patio. Gary?
We could not only be flirting with record high temperatures, but also record warm overnight low temperatures for tomorrow morning through Friday morning and tomorrow afternoon through Friday afternoon. Now, as we take a look at visible cloud track, again, more clouds east of Madison, more sunshine to the west, and as you'd expect, that had a big difference in temperatures. The fog, though, right now pretty much confined to the Lake Michigan shoreline. We'll see some patchy fog overnight. It's kind of a wait and see thing, but I don't think it'll be even as widespread as what we saw last night. Low temperatures this morning here in Madison, we dropped to 21 before we started to see at least some patchy fog form around Dane County. So the clear skies, that eventually gave way to some fog and low clouds made a difference in temperatures. Current temperatures range from the upper 30s in Madison and areas to the east to the 40s to still around 50 west of Madison. Still 50 in La Crosse, 51 in Boscobel. Here in Dane County, Madison's down to 39, 43 degrees right now in Middleton and 42 in Mount Horeb. Look for skies to be mostly cloudy this evening or to become mostly cloudy. Temperatures will drop into the lower 30s by late evening and then hold steady overnight. But later on, I'll take a look at our prospects at setting any records over the next 3 days.
All right, Gary, thank you. A proposal dubbed the Parental Bill of Rights would allow parents to opt their children out of what they deem controversial lessons in schools.
The bill itself has become a controversy and is now headed to the Senate. Our Maddie Heimsch has more.
Supporters of the proposal say it would allow parents authority over their child's education, but detractors argue that it could allow parents to infringe on the learning of other students in the classroom. Passed in the Assembly on party lines, with all Republicans voting in favor and all Democrats voting against it, the so-called Parental Bill of Rights defines controversial subjects as lessons that involve gender identity, sexual orientation, racial identity, or structural, systemic, or institutional racism. Suzanne Gallagher is the executive director of Parents' Rights in Education. She says parents should have the right to protect their children from things they see as harmful.
And beginning in kindergarten, students are being taught controversial subjects that parents are uncomfortable with. They don't want their kids learning about some things.
But John McRae-Jones, a policy analyst for the American Civil Liberties Union, says that censoring topics in schools only protects the status quo, not the students.
That's what makes a democracy healthy, is to have young, informed adults who come through our public school system, who can think about ideas for themselves and differently from our parents.
Governor Evers vetoed a similar bill back in 2022 and will likely veto this one as well. Public school parent Heather DuBois-Borinane told me she thinks the bill is hyper-political and unnecessary. She says there's already parent voice in public schools.
It's a beautiful thing to see people all over the state taking advantage of those by showing up at school board meetings, by engaging in parent-teacher conferences, by having those conversations with board members and administrators. And that's what parental voice really looks like in action.
Reporting in Madison, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
And Maddie will dive deeper into the bill coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6. One of two men charged in a deadly July shooting at Harmony Apartments is requesting his bond be lowered. Mark Parks Jr. is charged with first-degree intentional homicide as a party to a crime from the shooting death of Devon Grant. Parks asked the court to reduce his cash bond from $1 million to $10,000 with GPS monitoring. The court ultimately rejected Parks' request for a lower bond, leaving the total at $1 million. He is scheduled to appear in court on February 20th for a preliminary hearing. Parks and 32-year-old Devontae Gafford were both arrested for the shooting of the shooting death of 20-year-old Devon Grant last July. 5 days after the shooting, Gafford was arrested in Milwaukee. Parks wasn't arrested until November, 4 months after the shooting outside of the Harmony Apartments.
Now to an update on a deadly hit-and-run crash on the Beltline last month. According to witness statements, the woman killed in that hit-and-run was in the middle lane of the highway when she was hit. The statements were part of the complaint filed against Jules Tugnataman, the man charged in the hit and run. The complaint states police were called after a report of a woman walking down the Beltline in the dark before being hit by a car. Tugnataman was released yesterday after signing a $10,000 cash bond.
Police believe that speed and alcohol played a role in a fatal Janesville crash after a brief slow-speed pursuit by police early Monday. A Janesville officer noticed a car stopped for a long period of time at a light and pulled up behind it before it allegedly sped off. The officer followed at normal speeds but then lost sight of the car. Other officers later saw it on Milton Avenue at high speeds before it crashed near the I-90 overpass, killing the driver. A name has yet to be released.
In northern Wisconsin, a no contest plea has been entered for a Wisconsin teenager who is facing charges of triggering a bonfire explosion that injured more than a dozen people back in 2022. 18-year-old Sam Armstrong faces 13 counts of injury by negligent use of an explosive. Back in October of 2022, he was attending that bonfire when he threw a barrel containing a mix of gasoline and diesel into the fire, sparking an explosion that burned at least 17 people. A judge set sentencing for April 11th.
A Michigan jury has found Jennifer Crumbley guilty on all 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Crumbley is the first parent in the U.S. ever charged in connection to a school shooting carried out by her child. The counts were for each student who was killed. It took jurors 2 days of deliberating to reach their guilty verdict. Prosecutors argue Jennifer Crumbley could have prevented the shooting after she and her husband were called to a meeting at the school about their son's behavior and then left him there that day. She's scheduled to be sentenced in April.
On Capitol Hill, an appeals court has ruled that President Trump can stand trial in connection with charges that he plotted to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Today, the D.C. Court of Appeals rejected former president's claims that he's immune from prosecution for his actions while in the White House and leading up to the riots on January 6th. The 3-judge panel issued a unanimous 57-page ruling.
They basically said that former President Trump, for present purposes, is citizen Donald Trump, and he enjoys no greater protection against criminal prosecution than any other citizen of the United States.
The wait for this ruling pushed back the federal election interference trial against the former president. It had been scheduled to get underway in less than a month now. The former president's options for appeal include the U.S. Supreme Court, and legal experts say a trial could be on the docket as soon as spring.
And after months of negotiations between the White House, Senate Democrats, and Senate Republicans, GOP lawmakers say a bill that would provide emergency funding for Ukraine, Israel, and strengthen the U.S.-Mexico border is dead on arrival in the House. Despite the pushback, the Senate is expected to still hold a test vote this week on the deal. Meanwhile, in the House, they're moving forward with a vote to impeach the president's DHS secretary. Republicans accuse Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas of refusing to comply with immigration laws.
We're dealing with a prohibition on the Border Patrol and ICE doing the job and being effective.
If impeached, the Democratic-led Senate would have to hold a trial where Mayorkas is all but certain to be acquitted. It takes a 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict. Former Secretary of War William Belknap is the first and only cabinet secretary ever to be impeached.
Well, the public got a chance to see King Charles for the first time since his cancer diagnosis. A car carrying the King and Queen Camilla left Clarence House today. Earlier, a car carrying Prince Harry arrived at the royal residence. The Duke of Sussex making the trip from California to visit his ailing father. The diagnosis came just a week after King Charles left the hospital after treatment for a benign enlarged prostate. It was then that doctors discovered what Buckingham Palace describes as a separate issue of concern.
Next tonight, the country music world is mourning the death of singer-songwriter Toby Keith. According to a statement on his website, Keith passed peacefully last night, surrounded by family. He was diagnosed with cancer in 2022, but still performed at the People's Choice Country Awards last year, where he received the Country Icon Award. Keith released his debut album in 1993. He's known for hits like Red Solo Cup and I Want to Talk About Me. Keith leaves behind a wife, Trisha, and 3 children. He was 62 years old.
Well, next at 5, February is here, and it also means Black History Month is underway.
Our Jalen Banks joins us live from the Capitol with how the legislature's Black Caucus plans to bring people together to celebrate this year. Jalen?
Susan and Eric, today's press conference with the Black Caucus mapped out events that highlight and celebrate Black history. And speaking with state reps, they believe that these events not only celebrate the state's Black history, but preserve it as well. Black History Month has kicked off in the state of Wisconsin with the Legislative Black Caucus highlighting events throughout the month to celebrate Black history. Those range from speaking engagements, blood drives, ecology days, and many others. And they believe these events not only preserve Black history, but bring people together.
One, by us being there. Two, by having those who will participate being there, and having that dialogue and creating that bridge between one individual to another individual. Not necessarily that we have to agree on everything, but that we make sure that we are communicating and openly dialoguing with one another.
Some events also include career days and networking, something they hope will broaden career horizons for Black youth across the state.
Whether they be rural, suburban, or urban. And it's important that we are engaging young Black folks in these critical conversations. And as we think about the opportunities to build a realistic green career pipeline, it's going to be important that Black young people are engaged in that process.
Events start on February 12th and run through the 29th. For a full list of all the events that they highlighted, you can find them on our website at channel3000.com. Reporting at the Capitol in Madison, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
All right, Jalen, thank you. Still to come, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi returns. A complete look at your first warn forecast.
And how Madison Metro is trying to alert residents of other options when it comes to getting around the city of Madison. That's next at 5.
And a quick check of the Tuesday numbers on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surging some 141 points. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 both at 11. And we'll be right back.
Score huge savings on Menards' great selection of ceiling fans. Menards carries a huge variety of ceiling fans that add elegance to any room. Find your style with this Patriot Lighting Abner LED ceiling fan. It's just $84.99. Ceiling fans also help save on energy costs year-round. Hunter fans create the perfect look for your spaces. Right now, this Hunter Quiet Breeze LED ceiling fan is just $89.99 at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
We are Dane County. We are Madison, McFarland, Sun Prairie. We are Wanakee, Stoughton, Middleton, Deerfield, and everywhere in between. We are committed to being unique in supporting the value when families share the memories of family and friends at the loss of a loved one. We are Crest Funeral and Cremation Service. More than just a funeral home, we are the people you know and trust to help families before, during, and after the loss of a loved one. Learn more at crestfuneralservice.com.
News 3 Now and Vortex presents Spirit of Service, honoring those who've made a real difference in our community.
Do you know a veteran whose actions have been a positive force in the area? If so, nominate them for the Spirit of Service Award.
Log on to channel3000.com, nominate a veteran, and tell us why they're a pillar in our community. A winner will be selected on March 11th.
Help us celebrate our hometown heroes.
The Spirit of Service Award, presented by Vortex.
RSV can seriously impact breathing, even for the best performer. Protect yourself with Pfizer's Abrysvo, a vaccine to prevent lower respiratory disease from RSV in people 60 years and older. It's not for everyone and may not protect all who receive it. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had an allergic reaction to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may decrease your response. Most common side effects are tiredness, headache, injection site pain, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Abrysvo today.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy in the Madison area.
When you're talking to someone and you call someone at Olson Solar, it's not someone in Utah, it's not someone in California, it is someone local right here. By doing that, we control the entire process. So we control the project management, we control the design, we control the installation, the electric, the hookup, permitting, and that really sets us apart.
Stop into our location near you. Learn more at olsonsolarenergy.com or give us a call.
The home security company Ring has stopped allowing police to request videos from security cameras. We explore how this will impact local authorities' investigations and community safety. And then we plunge into the controversy surrounding the Parental Bill of Rights in Wisconsin. That's tonight at 6.
Thursday at 10, a local sober living home is reported for unsafe conditions.
Bug infested, black mold everywhere, mice infestation.
I'm finding out how these homes are monitored and who dropped the ball. News 3 Now investigates Thursday at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. If you're someone who uses Metro Transit, listen up. The system is set to hold a series of information sessions for you to learn about transit options other than the bus.
Our Kyle Pozorski shares what you need to know.
Metro Transit says the information sessions taking place over the next several months will give Madison residents an opportunity to learn about alternate ways to get around the city other than coming to places like this.
A lot of new things that happen that people are just have questions about.
Mick Roosh of Metro Transit says with the many changes to the system that have already begun and more to be implemented, it's time to update people on what their options are.
Sometimes it's easier to ask questions to somebody in person than it is to call on the phone. You really don't know who you're talking to. And it's just kind of easier to have a face in the conversation.
Those options other than taking the bus include everything from B-cycles to Metro's paratransit program, which gives individuals with disabilities who can't use a bus a rideshare option. Bruce says with so many options for transportation across the city, it's important for people to stay informed by attending the sessions. If you're interested in taking part in any of these information sessions, there's good news. There will be 5 over the next several months. The first is this Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Reporting in Madison, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Kyle. Each opportunity takes place at several of Madison's public libraries. To find detailed information about where to attend, visit the Madison Public Library's website and search Metro Transit Info Sessions.
Today at the Capitol, grade schoolers came together over robotics for the 2nd annual State Advocacy Day. Attendees spent the day sharing the importance of STEM, that would be science, technology, engineering, and math, in their lives to lawmakers. And at this year's event, robotics teams showcased their latest creations that they built and programmed themselves. Students also learn more about how the state legislature works and how to build relationships with local leaders.
Personally, STEM has really shown me what I can do for the world. I'm going to major in electrical engineering next year. I'm a senior this year, so kind of being able to explore that kind of aspect of life and also a lot of leadership skills.
And the event was put on by the organization First Wisconsin Advocacy, which gives students grades K through 12 opportunities to develop skills in STEM, but also business, teamwork, and real-world problem solving.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti, and it's going to get more mild from here, right, Gary?
Well, a big part of that is the fact that the snow cover is shrinking. You can see still some snow on the ground over southern Wisconsin, but a lot of bare spots in pretty much most of the southern half of Minnesota, almost all of Iowa, almost all of Illinois. Pretty much snow-free at this point, and for us, a lot of it is just, the big piles that were left after the winter storms back in mid-January. Visibilities right now still kind of low near Lake Michigan, but the fog has really shrunk compared to what it was earlier today. There still are some clouds out there, but not much in the way of precipitation. A few rain showers up in the northern portion of the state because temperatures are warm enough for that. 3 things you need to know. Near record temperatures expected from tomorrow through Friday, not only for record high temperatures, but for record warm overnight low temperatures. We do have some showers in the forecast for Thursday and Thursday night. Might even see a thunderstorm Thursday afternoon with temperatures in the mid-50s expected. It turns a little cooler by the weekend and into next week, so not quite as mild, but temperatures will still be above normal at least through the middle of next week. Taking a look at the records, they're all within a couple of degrees of the records. We've got a forecast low of 33. Record warm low for tomorrow is 34. Tomorrow's high temperature forecast is 48. The record is 50, set back in 1987. Thursday, the temperatures go up and so do the record. So the record high is 55. I've got a forecast high of 54. The record warm overnight low is 42, and I got a forecast low of 41. And for Friday, that might be the best day of having a record set because a low of 41 would break the record warm low of 40. That high of 48, even though the record high is 50, we could be above 50 early in the morning before temperatures start to drop. So that's also a possibility. But as we take a look at future track beginning at 6 a.m., this looks more like a spring spring weather map than one for the early part of February. Showers, perhaps even a few thunderstorms rolling through during the morning, and maybe another round during the late afternoon and evening. These will sweep on through, and then a couple of showers might linger into Friday night, but for the most part, it'll all be rain across our part of the Midwest. Rainfall amounts probably between about 1/4 and 1/2 inch through Friday afternoon, but there could be a few spots where any heavier thunderstorms track, where there could be a 1/2 inch to maybe 1 inch of rain. As we look at weather track right now, the jet stream basically from west to east, that mild Pacific air from the big West Coast storm just kind of streaming across the country. All the moisture is locked up west of the Rockies, so for the time being, we're staying dry at least through tomorrow. Planning your night, look for temperatures to hold nearly steady right in the lower 30s overnight. I don't see much temperature movement because of the clouds. There'll be a little patchy fog, but it shouldn't be as widespread as last night, and there's no part of southern Wisconsin that's favored for colder temperatures or warmer temperatures. But notice future track visibilities early tomorrow morning, more in the 5 to 7 mile range compared to the half-mile range that we saw earlier this morning. As far as planning your night across Dane County, look for a low of 33 in Oregon, 33 in Pine Bluff, 33 for the low in DeForest. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, 35 for the low in Milwaukee, 34 Baraboo, and 33 in Platteville. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, very mild, high of 48, again 2 degrees away from the record high of 50 set back in 1987. And then the rain from Thursday into Thursday night, probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch unless you get caught under a heavier thunderstorm. Just kind of hard to track those out at this point. First warn 7 to 10 day forecast, temperatures above normal through Friday, or actually through the weekend, but just not as mild. Mid to upper 30s for the weekend, but notice I've taken the precipitation out, so even Valentine's Day should be dry now, and temperatures by the end of next week back closer to where we should be for this time of year. As we take a look at first warn traffic, on the there was an accident on the westbound US 1218 right at the I-3990 interchange. Looks like that is cleared up. Right now, just a minor slowdown around Monona Drive on the eastbound Beltline. Traffic times pretty normal either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and I-3990. Inbound from Sun Prairie to downtown takes you 18 minutes today. The same trip outbound, also 18 minutes. US 12 from Middleton to Sauk City takes you 16 minutes. And from I-3990 from the Beltline to Janesville is a 26-minute commute today. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. The Super Bowl countdown is down to 5 days. Up next, Brady Mallory talks about the local connections to the big game. That's next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
The highest art is beautiful, timeless, inspired by the divine. Shen-Yun. Coming to Milwaukee and Madison, February 3rd through the 11th.
Want to instantly look more attractive, years younger, and even healthier? The solution is whiter teeth. Even teeth that are just a little yellow are a problem. They rob your appearance, make you look older, and can hurt your confidence. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, "What have you been trying?" I said, "Well, I've tried this product called Power Swab." And he said, "I can't believe how white your teeth are." So from that point on, I've been sold.
My absolute favorite thing was how easy it was. It takes literally less than 5 minutes.
Power Swabs has made a really big difference in lifting the stains and making my smile more beautiful.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. And after 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Plus, unlike other whitening methods, Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. Power Swabs are easier on your gums and cause less sensitivity.
I've used strips and trays, and they both gave me really sensitive teeth. With the Power Swabs, I've been using them for a week and nothing. I had hot coffee this morning and ice cream last night and no problems.
It's time to discover what you've been missing. Now, it's your turn to get started with Power Swabs.
I like my smile. I like my smile after finishing the Power Swabs.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off this Valentine's Day. You'll also receive the Power Swab Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will also get free shipping. Order right now and take the Power Swab's 5-minute challenge. If your teeth aren't a full 2 shades whiter after your first application, simply return it and you'll get your money back.
Can your roof handle our Wisconsin winters? If you're tired of repairing leaks and replacing shingles after each storm, call us, the metal experts at Sweeto Metal Roofing.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Your logo can identify your company, inspire your customers, and energize your team. We're 4imprint, and we can help your logo create moments that matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
The highest art is beautiful, timeless, inspired by the divine. Shen Yun. Coming to Milwaukee and Madison, February 3rd through the 11th.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
We are just 5 days away now from the biggest sporting event of the year, Allegiant Stadium, gearing up for Super Bowl 58, the 49ers and the Chiefs.
Festivities are well underway in Sin City. Brady Mallory joins us now in studio with some information you should know ahead of this week's game. If we could only get you a ticket to go, Brady.
I know, just call me Super Bowl Brady. It's meant to happen. Well, this year's big game features some pretty cool representations of Wisconsin. And here's a look at a couple of Wisconsin ties. First, Leo Chanel was a standout at the University of Wisconsin. The Chiefs drafted him last year and is now looking for his second straight Super Bowl win. Staying with the Chiefs, Mike Caliendo is an offensive lineman who is a Brookfield East alum. And finally, George Kittle, the tight end for the 49ers. Now, although he went to Iowa, he still has some Wisconsin ties. He was born here in Madison, and he even had a stuffed Bucky Badger as a child. How about that? But it's not just limited to the field. This year's Super Bowl will feature veteran radio play-by-play announcer Kevin Harlan and his daughter, sideline reporter Olivia Harlan Decker, and they will become the first father and daughter duo to cover and call a Super Bowl. Now, you might wonder, how does this relate to Wisconsin? Well, Olivia is married to former Wisconsin Badger basketball player Sam Decker, and 63-year-old Harlan is the son of former Green Bay Packers executive Bob Harlan. And if you're looking to either host or attend a Super Bowl watch party on Sunday, the National Retail Federation says total Super Bowl spending for food, drinks, apparel, and decorations are expected to reach a record $17.3 billion. That averages to $86 per person. Shoppers are still paying more for food. According to a Super Bowl food spending report by Wells Fargo, ground beef prices are up nearly 12% compared to a year ago, but the price of fresh chicken wings is cheaper, averaging $3.26 a pound. Just make it a potluck. Tell everyone to bring their own thing. Well, make sure to stay with News 3 Now this week as we will continue to bring you Super Bowl content all week. And just a reminder, the Super Bowl is right here on News 3 Now. Kickoff is at 5:30.
All right, Brady, thank you so much. A final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
The acid reflux felt like just the worst burning in your throat that you can imagine. It's almost like a fire in your throat. The LISC procedure was one of the best decisions I've made. It has changed my life, and the burning is gone.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's big pet care sale is going on now, and that means huge savings on the food, treats, and supplies you need to help keep your pets happy and healthy. Right now, get a free $15 gift card when you buy select Blue Buffalo dog food. Keep you and your pets safe when you're on the road with Blaine's Farm and Fleet vehicle batteries. And buy 4 tires from these top brands and get instant service credit savings equal to the price of 1 tire.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
A concert experience you won't want to miss. It's the Commodores. Performing live Saturday, February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. 70 million albums sold, 7 #1 hits. The Grammy Award-winning Commodores. February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds Odds are better here.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
Try it for only $14.95 this Valentine's Day. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
We know people can be concerned with replacing their windows in the winter, but winter can actually be the perfect time to replace those old drafty windows. Nothing will keep you more comfortable in your home during the winter than new windows. And our certified master installers are highly trained experts that will install your new windows properly while reducing exposure to outside elements. Ask how your winter installation can save you money and make you more comfortable in your home.
Do you suffer from acid reflux, heartburn, or have trouble swallowing? Join Dr. Aaron Schwab on February 8th at 5:30 p.m. to learn how the LINX procedure may help. To register for the free online talk, visit stoughtonhealth.com and click on Classes and Events.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, new evidence shows the Alaska Airlines door plug that blew out mid-flight was missing 4 key bolts. We've got the new reporting tonight on new findings and how the FAA is trying to quell fears. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Let's go back to Gary. One final check of the forecast.
The skies are starting to cloud up, but still it was a pretty nice day, especially for areas west of Madison where there was more sunshine. There's the live view from the Edgewater Skycam. Visibility is pretty good. Closer to Lake Michigan, though, you can see the fog there. We'll have to see how much of that spreads inland later on tonight. Current temperatures, 30s east of Madison where there was more cloud cover, 40s west of Madison, still 51 in Boscobel, 50 in La Crosse. Here in Dane County, 43 in Cross Plains, 42 in Sauk City, and 39 degrees in Deerfield. Otherwise, look for mostly cloudy skies this evening. Temperatures falling to the lower 30s by 10 p.m.
And we're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next. Stay tuned.